Ufaransa kufuatia mwaliko kutoka kwa Mheshimiwa Emmanuel Macron, rais wa Ufaransa. Kwa hiyo akiwa kule, pamoja na mambo mengine, alikutana na Jumuiya ya Wafanyabiashara nchini Ufaransa kupitia chama chao, taasisi yao inaitwa MEDEF, na katika mazungumzo akawaambia kwamba akawakaribisha waje nchini Tanzania kuwekeza katika maeneo mbalimbali na kueleza namna gani kuna hizo fursa za uwekezaji. Kwa hiyo wakaitikia wito. Kwa hiyo hii imetokana na mwaliko wa Mheshimiwa Rais. Kwa hiyo ameitikia wito, na kwa kweli ni ujumbe mkubwa, haijawahi kutokea katika region yetu hii, katika ukanda wetu. Kwa hiyo ni makampuni karibu 40 ambayo yamekuja katika sekta mbalimbali, sekta za usafiri, uchumi wa bluu, afya na sekta nyingine, kilimo. Kwa hiyo basi hii ni fursa kwetu, na kwa kweli tunamshukuru sana Mheshimiwa Rais kwa kuweza yeye mwenyewe kuwa mstari wa mbele katika kuvutia wawekezaji na kuitangaza nchi yetu.
We are meeting today to welcome the French delegation from MEDEF, which is the main business union in France, along with BPI France and Business France, which are two public organizations working on promoting partnerships abroad. For my part, as French ambassador here, I wanted just to remind at the beginning 3 things. One, the ambition that the two leaders, President Emmanuel Macron and President Samia Suluhu Hassan, have both agreed on and set as an agenda for the bilateral partnership between the two countries. It was in last February in Paris and also in Brest, Western France. The two presidents have met and agreed on a very ambitious agenda of partnerships. These partnerships are based on economy, public investment, but also and probably mainly private investment. That's why we have organized in Paris, when President Samia Suluhu Hassan came there, a meeting with the business community, the French business community. She went to their headquarters, meeting them and telling them, you are welcome to invest in Tanzania. You are welcome to bring your technology and expertise. You are welcome to hire Tanzanians, young Tanzanians and young ladies that are very motivated, well-skilled, and well-trained to be part of the next projects. So this is the ambition and the roadmap of our leadership that we are trying to implement here in Tanzania. Second, this ambition and this agenda was set 3 months ago. Are there any fruits and concrete things to present to the press and to public opinion? The results we are accountable of as ambassadors, both here in Paris, for my colleague and ambassador of Tanzania in Paris, and also the business community and public administrations that are working on this field. Let me tell you that these partnerships are already bearing their fruits. And when we look to the figures of the projects that are in the pipeline for Tanzania coming from France and through partnerships with the Tanzanian business community, we have a total now of a figure which is just impressive. We reach the figure of $4.2 billion. $4.2 billion. This is just unprecedented. It has never reached this size in the past between the two countries, and we have to increase this in the future, but already we have that this effort of President Samia Hassan during her visit to Paris is bearing its fruit, and the fruits are this figure at the beginning. 3, how inclusive are the projects that are being prepared and that the business community who are present here are working on? Our objectives, along with the Tanzanian counterparts, is to stick to the Tanzanian priorities. Let me remind you that President Samia Suluhu Hassan did insist on the inclusive paradigm and the inclusive development that she wants to implement in the country. Inclusiveness means gender, education, health, help to and assistance to the poor, the disabled, etc., etc. That's why the projects that are being implemented or explored today and yesterday by the delegation are ranging from transportation to connect people, BRT project here in Dar es Salaam. We have agreed already to fund the 5th phase of BRT, which is connecting people here inside the city, in the major city of the country. But we are not focusing only on Dar es Salaam. We are going elsewhere, even in the more remote areas. We are talking about connecting to electricity rural areas, generating power through solar and wind, working for logistics. And we have the SNCF company here, which is the major company of railway in France, working to promote the SGR network that is being implemented in the country for years now in Tanzania. We are working on extending internet connections through satellite. It's a service that was launched by the French firm recently called Ufaransa, and the service is called WeConnect, and it's ready to be deployed through all the country and to bring broadband internet to people, even in the remote areas. Health, we are funding programs for cancer everywhere in the country, and Bouygues company, who is represented also in this delegation, are working on other projects. I will stop here, but I want just to share with you a glimpse of these projects that show how inclusive the projects are and how they are entitled to reach Tanzanians everywhere, not only here talking to a small elite in Dar es Salaam or in Dodoma. No, we are not working on that, and we are not working just between French and Westerners or international communities, expatriates living here. No, it is really a win-win methodology. We are working on it with many, many Tanzanian counterparts, and we are hoping to move forward on this path in the coming months and years. There's a press release that our team here, our press team, is going to distribute, so please look at it. You have all the key elements that I have mentioned earlier, and we hope that that you will be able later to interact either with Gerard Wolf or Pedro Novo, and also all members of the two delegations. Many thanks.
My name is Gerard Wolf. I'm leading one of the delegation, the other one being with this guy, my friend Pedro Novo, with the other delegation. My delegation is from the MEDEF. MEDEF is the counterpart of TPSF, of the Tanzanian Private Sector Foundation. MEDEF gathers 70% of all companies in France. And if you talk in terms of GDP, it's 80%. So it's quite a large amount of companies. We came here for, altogether with the two delegations, we are 41 companies with 50 delegates. It's the biggest delegation in this country for France ever. And regarding MEDEF, it's the 4th time that we come to Tanzania, but never with such a big amount of delegates. Last was before the COVID in 2018. That's who we are, and the number of companies are half big groups, international groups. The ambassador talked about SNCF, which is a major railway company. It carries, it transports each single day 15 million people wherever in France from one side to the other. So it gives a flavor of what is and it operates in around 40 countries in the world. But we have other groups, and we have also SMEs or medium-sized company of all sectors, but in particular 6 of them. The 3 of what we call the essential services. Essential services everywhere in the world is number 1, water and sanitation. Number 2, and this country knows what I mean by that. Number 2, energy, the same. This country knows what is the problem of energy. Number 3, transportation. Then we have also health. We have also ICT, digitalization. I'm sure we were going to talk about that. And we have infrastructure at large, airports, railway, etc., etc. Finally, we have some financial institution, banks, or private equity fund with us, French, looking for possible co-blending of financing with some international funds or private banks. Why are we here? Before answering this question, ladies and gentlemen, I want just to point out that during the bad period of the COVID, all the French companies already here, around 40, none of them left the country. None of them left the country. And I think this is a sign of the investment that the social investment that we consider when we operate in a country. Christophe Darmois, the president of the Franco-Tanzanian Chamber of Commerce, is with us today. This chamber and the Team France was there because very often they operate in essential services. And essential services are even more essential when it comes to a pandemic like the one we all faced everywhere in the world. And I want to point it out and thank Christophe, and through Christophe, all the companies already here, because it's a sign of the French way to proceed.
I am Pedro Novo, in charge of the executive direction of BPI France. BPI France is a French public bank. This is an institution belonging to the French state. And what we do, we finance innovation in France, startups, entrepreneurs. We finance the French industry. We finance exports. We guarantee, we accompany them with dedicated programs, training, and accelerators. Why, basically, are we there today? Because 3 months ago, you said, we received the visit of Madame la Présidente. I do everything like Gérard. Madame la Présidente.
No. But he's not a rugby player.
No, I'm a soccer player. And we decided 3 months ago to come along MEDEF delegation with the SME and entrepreneurs delegation to have a global view of what France can do, not only for very important project, strategic project for the country, but also for the private sector, for entrepreneurs here in the Dar es Salaam and in the whole country. So we decided with Business France, our partners in this organization and this delegation, to collect some companies for some of them to discover Tanzania, but for most of them to develop their businesses because they were already interested by the destination. So this is the beginning of a new story. You told us that this is a momentum. Definitely, this is a momentum. Just for our baseline, for BPI France, we say to serve the future. That's why we are here, to create a common ground, a common page, to write this future together between the public institutions, great companies coming from France and here, and also with the basis of the pyramid, with entrepreneurs, with SMEs and mid-cap companies. So I would like to give the floor to Business France, our partners in this organization, just to explain how we choose these companies and why these companies have been selected for this delegation. Just before giving the floor to Business France, I would like to say that in addition of what you said, Mr. Ambassador, the projects are very important. And we are engaged regarding the volume you share in the future to find all the financial tools and solutions to make this future happen.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerome Revol, and I'm the representative of Business France, which is the French agency for promoting international development of the French SMEs. First of all, I would like to thank the Tanzanian authorities, as well as the French embassy, Mr. Ambassador, for supporting us organizing this very nice delegation of French companies here in Tanzania. As Ludovic, who is our director in Kenya for Eastern African countries, said, Tanzania is today, among the Eastern African countries, one of the biggest markets, and the interest of French companies is growing fast for these markets.